Here's how I brought this neglected Victorian dining table back to life after finding it in a dusty old junk shop. I've never found quite the right table for this house. When I was renovating, I used this tiny table that I've had for years. Obviously much too small for the space, although the cat didn't mind. But I made it work for a while, and the space evolved all the time as I restyled it relentlessly. I fell in love with and impulse bought a beautiful old table that ended up being way too big, so I had to sell it. And then after a few more temporary solutions, I found this extendable table for a steal because it was in really bad shape. It sat in my garage for a while until I finally cleaned it up and got it in the house. At the suggestion of a friend who'd done a lot of furniture refinishing, I decided I would French polish it. Not because I knew what that was exactly, but because my friend had the kit already. It was in such a bad state with stains that just seemed ingrained on it. First, I gently removed the gunky bits of what looked like spilled paint using a razor blade. And then I got out my sander, working from a heavier to a finer grit, and then also hand sanding a little bit as well. Now it was time for my friend's French polishing kit. Cotton rags, polish, and zero clue as to what I was doing. It turns out this is not how you apply French polish, as satisfying as it was to do this. But I didn't figure that out until I ran out of polish, bought some more, and then actually read the instructions. Anyway, I applied a couple of coats and then brought the table in for the night. This is why I love furniture on wheels. These casters are actually original to the table. Apparently they're made of porcelain. The next day, with the cat watching on with curiosity as usual, I gave it a few more coats, this time following the instructions, although they were pretty vague. You're meant to create what's called a rubber, which is cotton wool wrapped inside a lint-free cotton cloth, which you apply the polish to. I only had those cotton wool pads that you use for taking off makeup, so I bundled a stack of them inside. Some instructions say to thin the polish with a bit of methylated spirits. Others say do this, but also dab a bit of boiled linseed oil on the cloth. But no quantities are given for any of these instructions. And while I hardly ever use a recipe for cooking, I wouldn't have minded a little bit more specificity in this case. At least I applied it properly this time. Circular motions or figure of eight is the way to go, apparently. I also gave the legs a coat or two as well, and I wasn't sure if it would make much of a difference since they were already dark, but it actually really brought back the shine and added some warmth to the dulled wood. I'm a bit of a messy DIYer, but methylated spirits got the spilled polish off the table, luckily. I didn't sand between layers, but apparently you could. And I waited about 15 minutes between each coat, and I did maybe 4 or 5 coats. You can still see some marks and scuffs, but I really don't mind that. I wasn't going for the traditional glossy French polish finish, but it's given it a really nice deep luster. The almost final step is to wax and buff. I used a clear wax from Mylands, which I applied with a cotton cloth. And after really working the wax into the wood, I waited maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then I buffed it off with a clean cloth. And this kind of dulled the shine a bit, which is what I wanted. I wanted to achieve more of a satin than a gloss finish, although it still had a really nice sheen. I also wanted to spruce up the brass feet that the casters are attached to because they'd become really blackened. I actually should have done this bit before polishing the wood because the brasso got on the wood legs and then dulled them again, but you live, you learn. I prepped the floor and then I applied and buffed off some brasso. Honestly, it didn't really do much, even though at first I kind of thought it was helping. In case you forgot, this is where we started and this is where we are now. It's such a vast improvement, but it's still imperfect enough that I won't feel too precious about any future marks or scratches, which are kind of inevitable in my house. Of course, now these chairs aren't quite right with this style table, but that is a mission for another day. For now, though, I'm thrilled to finally have a table that suits the space. The only thing left to do is to pick some flowers from the garden, because everything looks better with a big, bold bunch of flowers. And then, of course, a couple of days later, this is how it really looks. Lived in, a little bit messy, laptop, coffee, disco ball. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life DIY, renovation and styling projects, including possibly how I'm currently turning what used to be a bedroom into my home design studio.